Shay, when
Joe.
we came up with this idea, probably maybe in the summer, I
Yeah,
didn't think we were going to have so much fun. What do you think?
it's been fun. I am excited about the how people are receiving it. Yeah, and I think I think people need the information that we're talking about. And I think some people are intimidated about asking for help about this topic.
Yes, pride can get in the way. Pride can either grow a business or destroy a business, and I say one of the things that people have to look at is look in the mirror and face that shame. Because when you face the shame, wonderful things can happen in all parts of life, in all parts of
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
But in
Well,
business,
if you're a smart person, you're growing a successful business and everybody knows you in that light. Whether you're known for your big construction company, you're known for your ag company. I was known in healthcare. And so I jump into this. It's very intimidating for me to move from healthcare to get into construction and agriculture and industrial. I'm learning. I'm learning about the equipment. I'm learning about the value. You know, I, I'm learning. Maybe it's because I'm female and I'm blonde and I can ask questions and people want to help. But I think especially for in this type of field in this sector, it's difficult for people to ask questions. It makes them I think they feel vulnerable with that.
yeah, it's quite interesting because, I was speaking to a farmer who was selling his land and he didn't want to sell it. And, the money that he would make, he actually not sell, he was renting it. He had this mindset that he was going, but how would people look upon me that I'm a failed farmer? He's not, he's making money for his pension, and I use that story because, sometimes we get caught in the weeds and we have to look at the bigger picture, from 360. And business is all about go and, new solutions. But I think you have to have a laugh and I think you have to have a bit of fun as well, because if you're not enjoying yourself and if you're not learning, what's the point? You get stagnant. And, you know,
Yeah.
over the couple of weeks that we've been doing the show, you know, it's kind of gone, I forgot I said that. I forgot about that. And it comes back to you and remember. So it's always loving and learning. That's the motto of today, loving and learning.
Loving. Yeah, the loving part, there's a compassion, I think, that's missing. Somebody has a business, your intention is to grow your business, pass it on to your children.
Legacy.
At least for
Yeah.
us, yeah, that's let's do this. I'm going to do this, and my children are going to be in the family, and they're going to take over this business, and it's just going to be generational. And things change. I mean, we're in a completely different world with different assets. We didn't have internet. We have so many different things and technology advancements. And then we have children that have an opportunity to get into these fields, and we're introducing them to all these things. And so it's difficult, I think, for a lot of these legacy owners to
Yeah.
say, but I wanted you to take over the family business. And it's difficult for the child to say, I don't want to do this. And so here you have these companies, maybe they're in it and they want to do something different. It does pull at my heartstrings.
Well, I can't even get my kids to cut the grass. Never mind take over the business. Or empty the dishwasher. I
Yeah,
think,
yeah,
as my kids get older, I think they all believe their last name was dishwasher, you know.
yeah,
Empty the dishwasher. Susan,
yeah.
dishwasher. You talked about assets. And last week we were talking, we ended up on, what was assets. And one thing I want to try and get across with people today that there's multiple assets, and one is physical, one is intangible, the next one is time, then it's stakeholders, and it's product, cash, and then branding. And, when people look at them, they might go, oh, what's that? So, physical is places, equipment, technology, which we spoke about last week. Intangible is the things you can't see, but they're there. And I like to call them the essence of a company. What the things that, you're buying when you purchase a company. Time, everyone sort of uses the 80/20 rule, but time is limited, so you have to use it wisely. And then stakeholders, the people in the business, the people outside the business. And, one thing about people, they're the hardest link in a business because limited resources, mind, people believing they're capable, blockage, self-beliefs, comfort zones, all these have a huge impact. So a company needs to be able to deal with its strongest and biggest asset is its people. And then product. Product is what I'm doing, but it's also design, it's also packaging, it's also, customer retention. All these things have to do with it. And cash. People think cash, which is king, it's revenue, bookkeeping, it's assessments, it's, financial measurements. And then there's branding as well. How do people see me as a whole? How do people see us? And especially if you look back at companies, God, when you and me remember we used to have to go out and ring the phone, or we didn't know what the didn't know what the internet was, or but all these things then are sweeping up, and now we have AI and everything as well. So all these components within a company make it what it is. What's your thoughts on my last spiel there?
I mean, spot on, right? When you think about, there's an easy way. You take those tangible assets that everybody can touch and feel, your furniture, your equipment. That's easy. You know how much that is. You depreciate it. That's easy to put a mark on that. All the other things are how you walk up your price. It's
Mm.
how you walk up your price. It's where your value's coming from when you're selling it. It's what you're going to argue that I am worth this much money because of those things that you talked about. My goodwill, what is my brand? I've been in business for 20 years. I've got high customer retention. Look at my staff, they're skilled. My brand is known. But you can say those things as a seller of your business and believe them in your heart. But the buyer has to understand those things and you've got to prove it. I think you were spot on that people are critical. Nobody wants to come in and buy a company. We both have been bought companies. You want to buy a company, first thing is, who do I get? Because clearly, I bought practices for a period of my time representing companies, and I bought a lot of practices. And we used to joke that we put a lot of low handicap golfers in healthcare because once we bought a company, that head of that practice sold his business for a reason, or her business for a reason, and their workload dropped. That was the purpose.
Yeah,
And so
it's
all of a
delegation,
sudden,
isn't it?
it is. Who are you going to delegate to? Who is the next in charge? Is that person up to the task to lead? Are the other employees behind them? So many times I hear, oh, I just work for Joe's company because I just love Joe. I'm here because of Joe. That's the last thing the buyer wants to hear, because I'm buying
Yeah.
Joe's company and Joe wants to, retire. And so to your initial point about ego in businesses and when you're running a company, and because you feel so good when someone wants to work for your business because of you, but it's limiting when you try to exit a company if it's really the reason they're there.
Well, then that brings up a point, and that is if you were looking to grow your business to that stage where we say not looking at the mountain but over, you then one of the tick boxes that you need to bring in is how do I create a culture that when I leave, that the people follow the culture and not me.
Yes, that's hard. That's extremely, I think it's a difficult in the sectors that I work in construction, industrial, and agriculture. They're so relational businesses with their customers and who they've worked with for years. The people have been there for years. And it's, we're talking 20 years, 30 years of tenure in these companies at times.
Is brand the umbrella over the business?
I think so. I think so, because your products follow your brand. You have a really strong brand and maybe some products that you're working on that aren't performing, but people trust your brand, and they trust that even if you're delivering something that maybe is not performing at the level that you want to, even as a company, maybe you put something out there, it's not, but they trust your brand and they know you'll make it right. I would tend to lean into a brand and my trust in a brand, then, and if a faulty product or a new product with a brand that I feel comfortable with, then the other. Because if you don't know the product or it's a Me Too product or similar product and you never heard of the company, you have to build trust. I bought this publication company. They never heard of me, never heard of Catalyst. I'm building trust.
Yeah, when we started off, I scribbled down trust because once a company has trust with its stakeholders, if someone tries to come in and poach business, the customer will be very loyal to them. But if a customer fails on trust, and it's always about three strikes. One, okay, it'll happen. Two, I'm a bit annoyed. Three, it's time for me to look for someone else. And a competitor can come in and go, hey, look, what's going on? And they'll go, yeah, let's have a look. So if you build that trust and that relationship, yeah, a company can grow. Definitely. It's you're setting yourself up for wins after wins after wins.
Well, I mean, we both sold and done business development. It's also one of the best companies to work for. For me, has been a company that the brand has high integrity. If we don't deliver for you, if something does go wrong, this company's going to make it right.
Yeah.
And so I've always liked to be able to work for companies where I know for a fact that the leadership will make it right. Whatever way, we're going to work with the customer because we have to work for the customers.
And if you do get it wrong, you say to the people, look, I got it wrong. What can I do to make it right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Right
Because
now, our one of our biggest challenges with customers that we have is that they don't understand marketing in the new marketing. They've grown their business and they understood how to market their company. Now we've got Google Analytics, we've got SEO, we've got programmatic, data. There's all these things that technology has afforded us. We get ads when we're watching, our shows on TV. They're popping up as we're Google searching. They're on our phone, getting SMS texts. There's different ways that technology allows us to reach people who don't necessarily want to be reached, but it is the advertising game. But I have so many clients who are they're trying to figure out, should I invest in this? Should I invest in this stuff to sell my product? Should I invest? How do I do this? And the vocabulary is foreign to them, and that's intimidating. And so I'm seeing a lot of people, companies just sit tight on doing conventional things and taking baby steps. We're starting to see them taking baby steps with us to try some digital marketing to see if it works, to show them that we can get them a little bit more reach. But there's this need for immediate, well, the phone better ring. If I do this digital thing with you, then I better get a
yeah,
call
but
really
yeah,
fast. That's not how it works.
there's some marketing doesn't get the phone to ring, and there's
Right.
some marketing that does. And if it's about, brand awareness, out of sight, out of mind. And it's a case of, if you're going digital, you're going, if you have a good database, we can do a look-alike database on your email and pick those people that have all those different touch points, and different social media like Facebook, the statistics there I've seen recently, X, for over 40% are earning over $100,000 a year. X now is coming up the market with Elon Musk. There's algorithms there that are, he's loosening up to grow the business. LinkedIn from a business point of view, there's, I think there's about 35% share that, people there. And there's all these things that if you're not investing in it, you're losing out because someone else will, and you'll go, what's going on with my business? So
Right.
marketing is an investment to make people. I don't know if I said this to you before, so I want to use the car analogy. A car, say Chrysler. Chrysler manufacturer advertises the car, right? So that's one category of marketing. The car dealership advertises the car. That's another form of marketing, right? The the in if there's an importer in a location, they advertise the car. Then there's the second-hand car dealership down the road who advertises the car. All these,
Auctions, rental companies,
but
yes.
but yeah, but these are all the touch points to let you go and buy, you know, a Dodge truck. What marketing does, it makes people aware. What marketing does, there's different types of marketing. There's awareness and there's educational. And you start to do awareness, which pulls them into the educational. And if a company is going, okay, how we want the phone to ring. Well, let's not spend money on marketing. Cold calling alone will not grow your business. I tell you that now.
No, and it doesn't help you when the time comes to sell your business.
No.
Because
Yeah.
nobody, and it's a crowded world out there right now. Digital is great, LinkedIn, social, they're here a second, you're gone. There's
Yeah.
so many things flying in front of people right now. And some of these companies aren't reputable companies. You can start up a company, put a nice website up, put a bunch of people in. You can use AI right now and even create individuals and create your whole company. And it looks like it's a bona fide
Oh my
company in
gosh,
scale.
there's five Joes there. That's not me.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
not.
clones. That's
Yeah, it's
clone.
crazy. It's crazy.
Where's my rib? Hang on there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
I think
well,
we talked assets in your company and your assets and your value of your business is what the difference between that heart, those tangible, that's that gap.
yeah,
It's people and your brand and all of that. The essence of all of that and how that fosters and grows is marketing. It's marketing. You got to grow. You got to put your plant in the sun. You have to water it. You got to take care of it and give it
yeah.
love.
Marketing builds credibility. I think that's it. Yeah,
It
definitely.
does. It does.
And on that note, I think we
Yeah.
have hit our segment. We are getting worn flashlights here. The time is up.
Yes. Yes.
But before we go, I think you and me we're gonna sit down. We're gonna hash out something for people, that maybe we can have conversations with the listeners to say, look, how can we help? How can we help you? I think we'll have a chat about that and we maybe pull
Well,
that up.
that's how we
So
started. That's how we
that's
started.
that's how
Helping.
we
Wanted to
started,
help.
helping one another.
Yes.
Shay, always good talking to you. Take care.
Awesome. Take care across the pond. Bye.